Hi guys. Somehow that last video got shut off, so I am so sorry. I think it said something about my storage being full, so I had to go through and delete some stuff. So I'll just go through this really quick. So I chose 3 of the things that I really liked. Okay, so remember we did the scientist tool day where we had like the thermometers and each table had something and we looked at those. Shadows you guys did at home. Remember the seed scattering one? I didn't put that on there, but that's where we went out and we got the seeds and we put them on the fur and we learned how seeds get scattered. And the dinosaurs, we did that bone activity where we went through and tried to put the bones together. And then roller coaster, we learned about friction and force and gravity. I chose the layers of the earth one here. So these were the 3 that I really liked. And then you'll notice that since they're titles, all the important words are going to have capitals. Do you see that? And then you're going to draw a picture in each one of those. So obviously this is not a great picture, but you guys are going to draw, your little picture that you guys did for your shadow, and then layers of the earth. You could even, if you wanted to, label them. Remember we had the crust and we had the core and we had, this part was called the mantle. Okay, get creative with it. Use your colored pencils or your crayons, okay? So that's that page. And then history, same type of thing. I marked a bunch of things that we did. So we learned about Native Americans. Remember we learned about like the Calusa and some of those other, the Iroquois. We talked about the Mayflower and we did that Mayflower writing. We did the 3D thing where we did the rural, urban, and suburban models. We did the landmark one where you guys drew the pictures of like a peninsula and a gulf and mountains and hills. That was fun. We did presidential elections where we had to kind of pretend what it would be like to win the presidential election. Remember, I gave you guys each a state and then each state got a certain number of votes, and we did that in class. That was kind of fun. I put landmark maps on here twice. Whoopsie days. Oh, well, this one I think I was thinking was when we learned like map skills. So we did like the compass rose and we learned north and east and south and west. I think that's what I was thinking there for that one. Oh, and then the levels of the government. Remember we talked about federal and state and local and then each landmark that went with those. So on this one, you get to choose 2. There's not any room for lines, but I still want a title on them because remember, you're going to cut this bottom part off eventually, okay? So I think I might choose presidential elections. Presidential elections. And I'm going to remember to use capitals and nice, neat handwriting. And then the other one I liked was the community models when we did urban, rural, and suburban. I won't be able to fit that, but I could just write community models or community 3D models, because remember they were 3D, which was so cool. Okay, and then you get to color a picture that goes with it. All right, I think we went through page, and then the next one, the best book I read. Now this is going to be hard because I know there's a ton of books you've read in your book box. There's a ton of books we've read as a class. There's a ton of books we've read in our reading curriculum. I put down just a few, okay? If you remember one of these, and you want this one that's down here at the bottom, maybe Cheerful Chickadees or one of these books that you really liked, you can write that one down. If you liked reading like the Amy Carmichael book, I know you liked that, or Mrs. Pigglewiggle or something like that, that would be fine. Even though it's not a book you read, that would be totally fine. If you go to to Mrs. Hatton and there was a book that you really liked with Mrs. Hatton and you remember the title, you can do that one. Or if there's maybe a book that you have in your book box that you read this year that you loved or that you checked out at the library a lot, you can choose that and then you can draw a picture. Okay? And then the last page is writing memories. So these are things that we did for writing. So remember pickle poetry, can I keep it, pumpkin patch. We always did write to self. A lot of you like to do the comics where you wrote a comic. We did the kangaroo and koala report. We did couplets. We did writing about the pumpkin patch. You guys did Would You Rather and the biographies at home. So any of those would be fine. Remember, same thing, since there's not lines on here, you're going to have to be real careful. I really liked the pickle poetry. I think you guys did a really good job on that. So I'm going to choose Pickle Poetry, and I'm going to choose Koala Report or Kangaroo Report, whatever one you did. And then you get to draw a picture, okay? So Koala Report, you could draw a koala. Pickle Poetry, you could draw a pickle. All right? Okay, guys, have fun. Bye.